Righty. Thank you, Madam Chair. And Mr. Secretary, great to see you again. I do want to publicly thank you for visiting Illinois last month with the First Lady. It was really good to have you at Sauk Valley Community College. Today, if I may, I'd like to talk a little bit about teacher shortages. I gave you a little handout when you were in our region that went over a little bit about this, but the American Families Plan, just so great to see that President Biden is requesting doubling the yearly Teach Grant Award from $4,000 to $8,000. And that's for students who commit to teaching a high need subject in a high poverty school district for 4 years. I think it's terrific. So thank you. Also want to applaud the $2.8 billion for teacher residency programs and the $1.6 billion for grants for teachers to obtain additional certifications. So that plays into helping to address teacher shortages. Major problem in my home state of Illinois, where right now, as we're having this conversation, school districts have about 4,200 unfilled positions. You know, think about that. Shortage of teachers, of paraprofessionals, of other licensed staff. In the congressional district that I serve, we have 400 vacant positions, and that's a lot. So if you can talk a little bit about the American Families Plan and how that will impact addressing this teacher shortage issue.
Sure. First off, let me say Sauk Valley gets it right. If you want to see an example of how a community college could lift a community and provide pathways for careers that exist now, visit Sauk Valley. It's like a commercial. I'm smiling because it was one of the best visits I've had. Thank you for what you're doing over there, and thank you, Sauk Valley, for what you're doing. You're absolutely right, teacher shortages, but we could throw money there, but I think what I don't want missed here is we have a president now that values education, understands the role of education, and together we need to lift up the profession where it needs to be. We need to honor our educators, not just during Teacher Appreciation Week, but we need to make sure that it's a viable profession. Let me tell you, 30 states, a mid-career teacher in a family of 4 will qualify for federal assistance. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable in this profession. So we need to create better pathway programs for our students to become educators. You mentioned paraeducators. Our paraeducators show up every single day working hard for our students in those schoolhouses, in those communities. Let's make them teachers. How can we create innovative programming to give our paraeducators or climate specialists an opportunity to become certified teachers, to then fill those shortage areas where we need support for our students that can't read in reading recovery or ESL services. We have to be innovative, and I'm hoping now that there are financial resources that we have bold leadership strategies to really fill those gaps. But the best way to do that is to really lift the profession and make sure that the students that we're serving now feel welcomed in our school so that they can consider themselves teachers in the future.
So as far as teachers' salary, Mr. Secretary, and that was actually my next question. In fact, let's see. Let me. So in 2019 in the state of Illinois, we had more than 5,500 K through 12 teachers earning less than $40,000 a year. To your point. I'm just wondering what we can do more at the federal level. Earlier this year, I introduced something, again, this is in the handout that I gave you, Mr. Secretary, but we introduced something out of my office called the Retaining Educators Takes Added Investment Now Act. We love to, it spells out retain, and along with other provisions that it has in there, but it creates a fully refundable tax credit for teachers in Title I schools. The credits start at $5,800 and ramp up to $11,600 over the years to help retain staff. But so I'm wondering what else, and I hope that you'll be supportive. Please take a look at that. I'm hoping those on this subcommittee will be supportive. But is there anything else, any other investments that we should put into programs that fight teacher shortage and help the pay increase, increasing Title I funding to help school districts increase teacher pay? Just curious as to any other ideas that you have specifically on how we can address that.
Sure. So, thank you for sharing that. I look forward to having more conversation with you about that. Please. And lifting best practices, because it does take everyone at the state level, takes at the federal level, but at the local level also. We need to think creatively with this opportunity that we have to hit the reset button. So some strategies, as yours is a great idea. I talked about the pathway program to make sure that our paraeducators have an opportunity, but I think we need to do a better job starting in middle school, looking at pathways for teachers, for our students. But if our students have a good experience, they're more likely to want to do that. Competitive salaries are needed. We need to really make sure that we're giving teachers a competitive salary and an opportunity to continue to grow. This is not just about the salary. It's about honoring the profession by giving professional learning opportunities, advancement opportunities, additional higher education opportunities for our educators. It's really about making sure that we're taking care of the teachers once they choose that profession, as well as recruiting them. I look forward to doing more with you on that as well.
I do too, Mr. Secretary. Thank you very much. My time is up, and Madam Chair, I yield back. Thank you so much, Mr. Secretary.